showing you what people use, or magicians use, or beginner magicians in olden days to practice card magic. And they really cared about how their cards look when they perform magic, because that's really important so for them. Okay, so it might look a little weird, but they use this. So I made a replica of that. So you guys can see all the cards are folded here, and it's going through like that, and I know it's kind of weird, but what they can do with this is they can spread cards. They can fan cards, and they don't have to do a 52 card pickup. They just go that's some crazy stuff. Alright, so I would need a long list.
Okay, you know me. Colton. Yeah.
Yeah.
Give a round of applause for Avery.
So yeah, we have a deck of cards here, and I want you to say stop it. Alright, we're going to say stop it. And we have two cards here, and I'll show you in a second. The 8 of hearts and the Queen of spades, okay? So remember those cards? Go ahead and say that loud. 8 of hearts. 8 of hearts.
8 of hearts
And Queen of spades.
and Queen of spades.
Yeah, okay, so we got these two cards, 8 of hearts and Queen of spades, so we can make sure they're genuine, make sure they're normal. Okay. Yeah, they're normal. Yes, they are. Okay. So this, what I'm going to do here is kind of like an experiment with these two cards, and these two cards are like our victory cards. You know, that sounds really awesome. Okay, no, that's my new way. Alright. So let's take these cards and we'll put them in. So the 8 of hearts and the Queen of spades, when we rip, we got this push it in. Alright, do you mind giving me that big shuffle? Okay, we're gonna push it.
Wow. Oh. Jay, you scare me.
Alright, no showing off there. Don't show off, kids. Alright, so we're going to find the cards, the 8 of hearts and the Queen of spades, right? And we're going to find them, but I'm not going to find them in a normal way. I'm actually going to use the thread. Sorry. Okay. So the thread. And examine the thread. Make sure it looks good. There's no holes. Yeah, it's good. Alright, we're going to find the card, and I'm going to put the thread through the holes of the cards. Trust me, guys, it's going to be awesome. Thank you. Alright, okay, so it's going through, right? Do you want to tie a knot right over here? So whatever. A loop knot. So we picked the card 8 of hearts with 8 of hearts with Queen of spades. You lost it in the center, you shuffled it up. Now we have to thread through the hole of the cards, and this is what's going to happen.
Fire.
Just like that. Alright, there we go. The cards have kind of heated up, and if I go 3, 2, 1, just like this, 2 cards I just yanked out 2 cards. And what was it, the 8 of hearts and the Queen of spades, right? 8 of hearts.
Oh my god.
And
you scare me.
Jay, you're my hero.
He is. You are my idol.
That's my first trick, boys. Alright, so we're going to do our second trick right now. So now on.
She needs another ball.
Alright, so I would like a volunteer. Let's get someone new. Brandon Lewis. Okay, just keep talking to them. And I'm going to talk about something very, very important. I'm going to take out some stuff here. I got two Sharpie markers. What? Okay. And, let's see. Okay. So we're going to do something special here. Remove this message. So, right here, and we're going to do kind of like a symbol or something here. So, before that, I want to have you go and say stop and read. Okay. So we're going to take that part. So look at it, make sure you show it. Three of spades, okay? Yeah, shout it out.
This is the three of spades.
Okay. I want you to take that. Whatever color. It does not, it's not on. Okay, and sign your name. Okay, sign your name. Veal. Perfect. V L Brandon Lewis. Oof. Alright. So he's got the signature of the card. I don't know if you guys can see the back, but Veal right there. Okay?
I can see it.
Alright. So Sharpie, I can't trust the Sharpie brand, so I'm just gonna give it a just to make sure it sticks, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so, and let's not see the cards for space. It's under the back. And I'm not even going to test it. Okay? Keep an eye on it. Okay? And now, here I have a blank card. I know that's a different blank card. Okay? And we're going to make kind of like a symbol of like that. I want you to take any marker you want. And I want you to exactly, or try to, as much as possible, try to draw which side of this. Try to draw this piece. Try all the symbols, you know, the numbers. Wow! Wow! Alright. Happy birthday. Yeah, this is hard. This is so hard. Okay, so three of spades was selected, put back the next muscle, and you will sign. Okay, you want to do the details, right? So that's a great replica. So you guys can see that is amazing. That is
Can't see.
Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so what we're going to do, I told you, I should tell you this, we're going to do here. So this is kind of like the symbol of the real card in the deck, right? Because you drew it and, you want to put in your signature because you purchased it. Yeah. Okay, so three of spades and it's a replica. So what are you going to do this card? Yeah, kind of tear. Okay. So first we'll tear because that's how you have this game. Because that's how you destroy a card. So we're going to tear everything. Woo! Alright, so we put up a little thing and let's go ahead and burn it. Let's go ahead and burn. It might take a second here, so happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Alright, so we're burned it. A little bit of black there, right? Yeah, you can see that, but there's a little bit of black there. now is where the magic happens. I didn't touch the card the first round. Slowly and moving. And whatever happens to the symbolized card should happen to the real card. These are to and signs and put back to them. That's fair, right? So, I don't know if this works. The role you spread the cards. Okay, spread the cards. Spread it. Alright, I don't know if you can see, but there's one card face up with the pair in the deck.